In a small town, there was a boy named Max who loved flying kites. His dream was to create the biggest, most colorful kite the town had ever seen and make it soar higher than anyone else's. Every year, the town held a kite festival, and Max wanted to win more than anything. For weeks, Max worked on his kite. He painted it in vibrant colors and added beautiful patterns. On the day of the festival, he was nervous but excited. As the competition started, Max ran across the field and released his kite into the sky. But instead of flying, the kite wobbled and crashed to the ground. Max tried again, but no matter what he did, the kite wouldn't fly. The other kids laughed, and some said, "Maybe kite flying isn't your thing, Max." Heartbroken, Max went home, promising himself he'd never try again. The next day, Max's grandfather, a kind and wise man, noticed him sitting sadly on the porch. "Why so gloomy, Max?" Grandpa asked. Max sighed. "I worked so hard, but my kite failed. Everyone laughed at me. I'll never fly a kite again." Grandpa smiled gently. "Come with me," he said, leading Max to the backyard. There, Grandpa handed Max an old, tattered kite that had clearly seen better days. "This was my kite when I was your age," Grandpa said. "It's not much to look at now, but it taught me an important lesson about failure." Max looked at him curiously. "Max," Grandpa began, "do you know what failure really is?" Max shrugged. "It means I'm not good enough." Grandpa shook his head. "Failure isn't the end, Max. It's just a stepping stone to success. Every time you fail, you learn something new. The only time you truly fail is when you stop trying." Grandpa continued, "Do you think I flew this kite perfectly on my first try?" "No! It crashed so many times I lost count. But each time, I learned a little more about how to hold the string, how to adjust the frame, and how to find the right wind. Every crash brought me closer to making it fly." Max listened closely. "Let me tell you something else, Max," Grandpa added. "Great inventors, artists, and leaders all failed before they succeeded. Thomas Edison, the man who invented the light bulb, failed over 1,000 times before getting it right. When asked about his failures, he said, 'I didn't fail. I just found 1,000 ways that didn't work.'" Max's eyes widened. "Really? Even people like that failed?" Grandpa nodded. "Absolutely. But they didn't give up, Max. And neither should you. Let's take your kite and figure out what went wrong." Together, they examined Max's kite. Grandpa pointed out that the frame was too heavy, the string was too loose, and the tail wasn't long enough for balance. "Now we know what to fix," Grandpa said. Over the next few days, Max worked tirelessly to rebuild his kite, this time using everything he'd learned from his mistakes. When he was ready, Grandpa joined him in the field. "All right, Max," Grandpa said. "This is your moment. Remember, even if it doesn't work perfectly this time, it's just another step forward." Max nodded, holding the kite tightly. He ran across the field and released it into the air. At first, it dipped slightly, but then, to his amazement, it caught the wind and soared high into the sky. Max laughed with joy. "It's flying, Grandpa. It's really flying." Grandpa clapped. "See, Max? Failure didn't stop you. It taught you." From that day on, Max never feared failure again. Whenever he faced a challenge, he remembered Grandpa's words, "Failure isn't the end, it's just a stepping stone." Moral of the story, failure is not a sign to stop. It's an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. The most successful people in the world didn't avoid failure, they embraced it, learned from it, and kept moving forward. Remember, the only true failure is giving up. So, keep trying, and you will never fail in your life again.